No, Eric worked really hard.
I'm
Eric
recording.
worked really hard.
Jeff's recording? Josh recording?
It's
recording?
It's recording. MetaCast is starting. Go.
What was it called?
This is a good start. This is a good warm-up. Cold open.
What was the name of the classic film that's rated likely above 8.5 on IMDb?
I got this. It's called The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, okay?
That's it. That's actually
That's it. I know it is. I'm doing a bit. You set up the bits.
Wait, that's not it. What was it actually called?
You're right. It was called... It was... It's called Let's Do a MetaCast. Roll the music.
We have actual musicians here, and this is the best we could do.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic episode of MetaCast Season 98. This is me, your host, McClay McLeod. I just got word from the viewers at home and the network, and guys, you gotta snap it up. This is our last chance.
Yep.
This is the last one. If we don't get this one, they're sending tokes to the glue factory. So this one's for him. This one's for him. So tonight on the MetaCast, we're doing things a little old school. We don't have a theme. Michaelis quit. He broke up the Beatles, so he said, I can't do a theme. So it's just back to your old man McCleasy on the sticks with the intro. For rounding out the cast from top to bottom, we got the lady from the Valerian, not the seahorse, she said, shell by the seashore. Aunt Coley, Jolteon, she's here. She's rounding up the cast. What do you have to say about that, Aunt Coley?
I still don't believe anybody's really recording this.
We're having a MetaCast. This one's for
Wow, no faith.
No faith. The Salt Slug herself. Afterneath
Fuck America, no fucking faith.
Afterneath that one, we've got Man, the Myth, the Legend himself, Este Hombre, Clackalot Point, second tower of the Frey Towers. He was also Lil Winky, and the wizard who did candles. Este, how you doing?
I'm just happy to be here.
My man. Of course, the legend of the Iron Islands. If you had to pick somebody who was the Iron Islands in every possible conceivable way with a thesaurus. Also an admin now. Big step up. Really proud of you. Doing great. Astos, you're here. Midwest himself. Titan of the industry. Now, beneath Astos, I mean, you have the guy from The Matrix who sits in the chair with all the boxes and is like, we made this game 7 times, and this one was the good one. The architect, in the truest sense. Okay. Wiccan, he who has not. He who hoes not, he who hoes maybe. I don't know. I'm not judging. You do you, man. But Wiccan, how you doing tonight?
Great, McLean.
Good. God bless you. Beneath Wiccan, we have the other architect. If the architect was played by Morgan Freeman, and this is actually a movie with Jim Carrey and Steve Carell. I wish Eric was here, but Eric didn't play about these games. Well, that's a whole other guy. Anyway, Joe man, whose name was on the door for so long, who got kicked out by Dylan, is now here to redeem himself. Joe, how you doing tonight?
Well, good morning to you all.
Eric, God damn it. Joe does have an amazing...
That's really good. And then beneath him, we'll get back to me. I'm in charge, so I'll do the end. Then we got the easy, the cheesy, the Texeasy, the man from the Sneezies, who's Nate's here. Hi, Nate. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, how's it going?
Nate was once Rhaegar, and he was a Bagar.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt.
The lore, dude?
I didn't read the lore.
I was Baelor. I was
Thank
not
you.
Rhaegar.
But you're really the Bay.
Jacob.
Exactly.
Oh my god, hold on. Let me get
Can you explain from the viewers at home what an MCP is?
I think that's more Eric's job.
Alright, cool. That's a shout out to this first podcast.
That's Eric's job. Yo,
people stopping off the presses. Hold on, everybody who's stopping off the presses. I got more views to come in. So Nate, you're here. Nate was Baelor and the Bay of the lore simultaneously. I'll get to the newcomers when we get to the newcomers. Next, beneath my Bay, is Vic. Vic has always been here. Vic here has always been Vic. He's a Jawa. He's of our hearts. He's the legend. He's Vic. I don't really know what else to say of the man, other than he's a great guy. And I'm happy you're here, Vic.
Thanks.
God bless him. Beneath Vic is this guy I just met tonight, and I'm really looking forward to going to his wedding. Ben, thanks for coming aboard. Thanks for dealing with our sloppy sisters.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I feel like I've stumbled in something that I should not have.
Honestly, you sound like a more innocent noble, and that's the biggest compliment I'm ever going to give you. So,
wait, who is that?
That's Ben.
I'm
He's new.
Benziasum.
Whatever that means.
You sound a lot like
I'm
Noble.
Nolan.
He's ethyl benzene, whatever that means, dude. I don't know.
Wait, is that Bash the Fash or is that a?
No. This is Big Chungus.
This is big. Yeah, Big Chungus.
Would you say you affiliate more with Bash the Fash or with Fash?
Oh.
Bash the Fash.
All right, cool.
okay.
Not a
That's good.
fascist.
That's
All right, cool.
let's
Alright,
see.
No
who's
commies, no fascists.
Very cool.
Let's go.
Very
Now,
cool.
I don't know.
All right, very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Great. Glad to have you. Okay, so Apple G, I don't know who you are. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself so I can then introduce you based upon your introduction.
So my only claim to relevancy is rolling a nat 50 in the Harrenhal melee.
Okay, cool. Which Harrenhal melee was that? Was that this year, last
The
year?
recent one, the recent
There was a recent one? Catch me up. I haven't played this game since it started.
I don't know. There's some wedding. I went.
Alright,
Roll
perfect.
the
That's
nat
the right
50.
answer. That's
Got
good. You guys roll nat
Got
50s for
eliminated
turners
next
now?
round.
That doesn't matter. Point is, it's all dice and we're all diced up. What's your... you got a favorite animal?
I don't know. That's kind of.
That's true. I drink gin and tonics too. Apple G, I'm glad you're here. Next from Apple G, we
really
got a... Oh, is this the Sketchy Hawkins or the second Sketchy Hawkins?
Wait,
Who came after the other Sketchy Hawkins? See, it says Sketchy Hawkins, but I don't know if this is the OG Sketchy Hawkins.
Why would there be two
That's
sketchy
the OG Sketchy Hawkins, who's
Yeah,
as
he's been
old
around.
of a... Like, the OG?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Holy shit. The Sketchy Hawkins, who was in charge of the numerous, like, he was the original fire... Oh my god. The Emperor, the God Emperor himself? Well, this is big. This is a big night, folks. Sketchy Hawkins goes further back than I do, so God bless him. I'm happy he's here. And let's see, Ferg also joined up. Ferg's a beaver, and he likes beaver only by choice, with consent. I'm glad you're here. Let's rock and roll. MetaCast, Season 98.
I'd
Let's
say
get
my
this
favorite
kicking off.
animal is probably mud.
Your favorite animal is mud. That's a good pick. I'd say if you had to pick a second pick, I also
Articuno.
listen to the Bee Gees at work. All right. Let's get rocking. Let's get rolling. So, first on the cast, I believe Este Hombre. I'm going to pass it off to you. You had something to talk about Turnygate.
Yeah, actually, so this is big news in the news right now. Ann Coley was invited into the Blackfire chat and found out that surprise,
They were metagaming.
angry gamers are angry gamers.
Now, can you explain for the listeners what a gamer is?
Yeah, you know what a Nazi is? It's like that, but if they don't have sex.
Do they rise up or not? Yes or no?
I mean, they rise up to get like some more Doritos.
I like it. Bottom text. So, continuing on this point, Ann Coley, tell me about the Blackfire chat and what that means for the viewers at home. Assume they don't know what fire is, what black is, what Blackfire
What
is,
incels are.
what incels are, what year it is, and who is your daddy and what does he do?
Well, the Blackfire chat is a chat in which people try to beat the dead horse of a rebellion that didn't have a chance
interesting.
of working even from the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't get invited to the first one, even though I actually died fighting for the Blackfires in the first one. Because
Would you-
Ziggy doesn't like me.
Would you say there are some hurt feelings around that?
Not really. Like, there's some salt, but it's like residual salt. Like, way down deep in the mine salt.
Way down deep in the mind salt. Interesting.
So,
okay.
but sometimes I jerk about not being invited to the first one. And today when I jerked about not being invited to the first one, Bock just sent me an invite. So I was like, alright. And
Wait,
Bock-
Classic Bock.
Wait,
Classic
Bock's
Bock.
here?
Do you think that maybe Bock in playing the role of the buffoon is actually just holding up a mirror
300
to the
IQ.
ego of
I think that
the
making
normal
Bock an
player?
admin on the
Bock's an admin?
Oh, he's an admin on Joe's server.
hardest decision this community has ever made.
Look, alright, I feel like Bock is holding up a mirror to our own egos.
Are you saying he's a testament to the
I think
hubris
more
of
like
men?
super ego, to be honest.
He's holding up a mirror to our id and super egos at the same time.
Look, his mom flirted with us, so that means he's woke.
His mom totally flirted with us.
She was in.
and
Talk about that.
and his dad was super chill
Yeah, about his mom flirting with us.
about,
Oh yeah, dude. It
about
was,
that.
yeah, dude. It was lit. Yeah, and then never forget. It was a good night. I remember.
Before or after Buck went through puberty?
I think it was prior
It
to.
was after.
Was it after? I think it was during.
and during.
All I know is I'll never forget. He said, "Oh my God, I got $7 for weed," and I was like, "God bless it. You're a pure of heart kid." That's when I knew Bock was a saint.
That's when you knew that you could exploit him as a CI.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So what's the state of the game? We'll break back into that one.
All right. So people.
I want to finish the rest of the Black
Oh,
Fire.
never, okay.
You do, but no one else does.
Wait, hold on. He was in Santa Claus 3 chasing
All right,
Gollum. We
I'm
have
sorry.
to honor that. It's
What
Estei's turn with the mic. He's holding the conch.
WWMSD.
What would Martin Short do, Estei?
Martin Short would make a joke about how he's not as cool as Steve Martin.
Oh, that's a good pick. It's a good pick.
That's pretty true.
Like a lighter.
Mm-hmm. It's a
All
good
right.
pick.
So
for my mic, I have the speaking show. I'm gonna choose to pass.
it's all you.
I'm gonna choose to pass it on to Joe.
Popcorn Joe.
Popcorn Joe.
Pass the mic.
All right, Joe. What do you got to talk about?
MCP Tokes dropped this. If you can even get up off that Tokes, this
Handless bitch.
Yeah, I agree. Pass it to Nate.
All right. So you guys know that since we are trying to pass this on to the current players to try to get their perspective, Astos Man,
so we
young,
can get the meta in.
aka Young Heath, Wiccan, aka Young Aragon, me, aka Young 34-year-old
young sweet
music fan, and Benzo, aka Young, better dead than Fash or whatever your name is.
Young Chungus.
Young Chungus, aka Apple.
Hop in my Benzo.
Palestine. Jeff, aka Fergalicious. Quotes Rosby, aka.
All right, let's do a fun thought exercise.
McLean, MacLeod, aka Sketchy, Geralt of Rivia, aka.
Let's go down the list. If you had to sum up the game in three key colors or musical styles at its current point, how would you do starting from the bottom? Benzo, how would you tell about if you had to pick? What would it be? I want a clothing style, a painting style, and also a Danny Trejo movie.
Wait, what was the third one?
Danny Trejo movie. A movie starring or featuring Danny Trejo. You have 156. Wow. Open up IMDb. You have 156 options.
What? Spy Kids, obviously. Come on.
Clothing style. Go ahead. Of course.
Clothing style. Definitely a mess.
Okay, interesting. Dirty laundry. Okay, I take it.
Just dirty laundry, honestly.
Okay, good pick. Then
really
a music
salty
style.
dirty laundry.
Oh, I didn't know you could get salt on dirty laundry, but that's interesting. Clothing style, you said, cool. Then, of course, a painting style. Okay, good answer. Baroque, very powerful choice. And then a Danny Trejo movie.
Spy Kids, apparently.
Good pick. Very good pick. So, Estei, you have been quoted as saying, "I don't like mac and cheese." Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think that quote was really taken out of context. I was talking about Mac Miller and his heroin addiction, aka cheese, and I think that combo together is it takes a lot of lives in the music industry.
That's pretty big.
So, with that, I would like to hear from Wiccan. And Wiccan, what we're asking you today is if you could start over with the game. You know, we're back in 2017 or 2018.
We're doing this? Okay, we're doing this. All right.
Starting over with 7K, not starting over with.
I mean, let me ask my question. If you could start over.
Well, if you could ask a little faster, then.
If I wasn't interrupted, I could ask a little faster. If you could start over with.
If McLean had interrupted you.
If you could start over with 7K, would you think you would go with like a completely different type of lore, knowing that Game of Thrones is a trash ending?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What does the Game of Thrones story have to do with the 7K ending, though?
I actually think it has a lot. I think I'm actually really excited about the 7K ending because I think it opens up a lot.
Wow, there's a 7K ending?
Yeah, I really want to tell us.
Wait, we have an ending
now.
Are you
I would
suggesting
love
that
to.
this is an aptly proposed podcast for an ending to the show? I mean, 7K?
Reset.
I think
okay,
it
Wiccan,
sets up
elaborate. I need you to
a
elaborate.
lot.
All right,
Stop the presses, elaborate. Go ahead.
It sets up a lot for what you can do, because I mean the biggest problem was everything was rushed, and so with this you have just all the time in the world,
Very objective.
basically, to get to the end.
Pictures.
And you can make a clear ending and a clear reasoning and clear everything now with this.
Who would
I
you
really am
say?
excited
You're to the
for it.
radio.
Why
12.
Z? Why Z? Really? Okay, okay.
Because I did an others ending in Ice and Firepower.
That's
Yes.
correct.
So
That's
we
awesome.
didn't really have a reason for why they were doing this then.
That's a fair argument.
It was
That's
just a thing that happened.
We still
And even though the reason seems pretty dumb, you can make that actually work when you have that background now. I just think you can really actually write that out better with the one line that we have on it.
You mean the others invading?
If it was the others, I don't think that's probably the best for 7K, just because it's kind of already been done. But I think just the overall story you can do better.
Now, for the new kids on the block, and
We had
for
a
our
bunch of
listeners
kids.
at home, Ice and Fire Powers was, some would argue, the fourth game. Some would argue the first game. These track back to an era in 2016. Was that 4 years ago? 2015, maybe. I don't remember. May of 2015, the games began with a little game called Westeros Powers, run by a man who may be two men, but we know he's Brazilian and Catholic, named Fairfax.
You're ignoring Valerian Mercillium, right?
That's true. Valerian Mercillium did start it. He had an afro. He's a very cool dude, and he said, "I don't want this creation. I throw it away." And he handed it to the helm was taken at the time by Sir Fairfax. He lost the Sir. He became Fairfax, and the game deviated into a bunch of different variants. It became Ice and Fire. It was Westeros Powers. Then it became A Song of Ice and Fire Powers. Then it became, in his vision, not in his vision. There was a split off thanks to an MCP. It became Got Powers on one end, and on another end that was completely tangential, Ice and Fire Powers, which for many was the jumping off point where it began.
So you're saying Fairfax stole the glory of Sir?
I'm saying that
he was stealing dead soldiers' glory?
Yes, you could argue that the Brazilian Catholic Fairfax stole the dead glory of Sir Fairfax. You could make that argument. I don't have the support. I don't know where you'd get the support. I don't know how to cite a document in MLA format, but I'm saying you could do it.
Sorry, Heath, Jeremy, and Chloe raised a valid question. We're being very old friends.
Well, no, I was interested.
Hold on.
I was introducing the anecdote of Wiccan. He mentioned Ice and Fire Powers, so I was putting that into
Absolutely. I agree.
Carrying on back to his point of how he would end 7K. That's what we're doing.
All right. So Wiccan and Ankoli, as the two people here most invested in 7K.
Yep.
So what do you want to do to end 7K as the 7K end event?
I would like to hand this off to Ferg or to Ben because I can guarantee that they're more invested in 7K than I am.
Do we need an end event right now?
End event ever?
It's just way too. It's way too active and way too claimed. It's not really there.
So it's something more we can work towards in the future.
Yeah, I want to do an event that sets up the end event.
Oh, so you're... Oh, I like this.
But I would like to hear from Ben and
Berg,
Ben seems to be around.
I mean, it's a lot less active than when I first claimed. I was here at the beginning of 7K, but I was never here before.
What were you at the beginning of 7K?
I was Mullen, but I went inactive for a long time.
And what is Mullen?
It's a shitty northern house.
Okay, northern. I thought so.
The least troops, the least income, and I took it because I thought it would be like no responsibility, and it is. And you can't have no mechanical power. You're basically just like a lore vassal, honestly, with having just 1,000 troops.
All right, so this is more of a philosophical question, but do you guys think that you should be able to claim and play the game as a quote-unquote philosophical lore vassal?
Yeah, I did it for a long time, actually. It was kind of satisfying.
Just bullshit, kind of throw out some lore posts, like you just kind of want to write some characters, and someone else handles all the strategy parts.
Yeah, I didn't know all the mechanics at the beginning, and that was like a big issue, so that's what I did to like actually get
What is a
integrated with them,
lore
actually
character?
Do you
What does that
think
mean?
anybody knows
It's
the
nothing
mechanics
in
now?
Okay, that's not mechanical designation.
Probably not.
Are you talking about star lore? Because in that case, I always favor star lore.
Astro lore.
I would love to post some Astro lore. We all kind. Hold on. This is where in the script it says, brackets.
This is scripted, by the way.
Don't tell about.
Yeah,
Don't tell about
this
the
is
script.
scripted.
Don't.
No, Assos, shh. Assos, shh. Emmy, shh. This is where in the brackets it says, brackets. Everyone looks to Wiccan to see if Astro lore
Ain't even in the brackets.
is okay.
Ooh, but Joe's right. Joe raises a good point.
It's true.
And you gotta post it.
Oh, shit.
He just threw the gauntlet. He threw the gauntlet.
He did the reversal on me. Actually got to write lore now.
Writing
One of the
lore is the
things I've
worst part of this
noticed-
game.
Like in 7K is that there is notably less attempts to like write very obviously anachronistic like.
Whoa! Emmy,
Are you
hold on.
I mean, I'm not calling.
If you're just gonna take random jabs, you're just gonna throw out random jabs.
No. Let me finish. What I think is interesting is that obviously you guys aren't posting very much anymore, but nobody else has like filled that void. Nobody else is out
Who
there.
else would fill that
Right.
void?
Well, there's always.
Who else could?
Are you
Thank
saying
you,
that-
Assos. Thank you.
Are you suggesting that we could have been heroes? Just for one day?
Just for one day. Alright, Emmy, look. I could be king. And
I like
you,
where this is going.
you could be queen. And we...
Oh my god.
Hold on.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I can only.
And we...
Keep going.
We could be heroes. Alright, hold on. Let me look at... hold on. Look at Discord. Look at the server.
Oh my god. This is powerful.
Alright, hold on. Emmy,
Nate.
we could be heroes.
Ah!
Just for one day.
Fool.
Wow, I wish I could satisfy my fiance the way you're satisfying McLean.
It's sketchy. Sketchy could keep us together.
This has been MetaCast, episode MetaCast. Join us next week.
Who just entered? Wait a minute. Somebody just showed up. Hold on.
One day.
Hold on. We gotta do an intro for the person who just showed up. Come on, guys.
Boom.
Sounding remarkably older and wiser and really,
Sketchy
truly
does not sound like an OF, an old friend, as they say.
truly sounding like someone who has grown in ways that none of us could have imagined, but all of us are proud of him for. Bock is here, and now he's gone.
Wait, shit!
Just like that, he's
Bock.
gone.
Alright, wait, is he...
His
like
mom
the
was
wind
coming.
and now like the wind. Yeah.
God bless
Oh
him.
my god. Alright, look, alright, hold on.
Hold him
He's not
down.
here, hold on. Wicked.
Dude.
Alright,
Bock
out
is so
of character, hold on. Show's on pause. Producers, pause the recording.
Yeah, that's not
I'm
happening.
putting in a note here.
Yeah, the recording's paused. Alright, Wiccan, Emmy, McLean, look. Bock is looking to you guys for a leadership role. And I think if you guys just really show him some compassion, some leadership, I think he could probably be the best of us.
Yeah,
He
dude.
is already.
He's probably, if he's not already, he's probably the greatest writer in this community.
True.
So he was sending me when he was banned his writings to give reviews on and feedback on while he wasn't playing. I think he did eventually start playing or one of those.
Yeah, he joined as Darwan Targaryen.
Derwin James Targaryen.
The Summer Hall one.
Dak Prescott.
I don't know what that means. Oh shit! Oh shit! Dak Prescott. Holy fucking shit. Look, I really didn't expect us to go in that direction, but if we're gonna talk about the most powerful character in all, all right, I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, his stories were more about gangsters.
Yeah, he's a good locker room guy, but
so
halfway.
Secret to like helping Bock grow as a writer and as a person is that Marlowe has to relaunch Mafia Powers.
Whoa! Wow,
Bock would really enjoy that. Definitely.
Astos actually knows more about that than any of us, I think.
He is Chicago. Chicago is Astos.
Well, Astos worked on that game, right?
Yeah, I was helping. I was consulting with Marlo.
Chicago Noir. I think.
Yeah,
it
changed
was
it to
actually
Chicago Noir.
Chicago Noir.
Chicago Noir.
I was trying to help him make the basically there was a map with like zones, right? And I was trying to make the zones more accurate.
I was trying to help him with the map over there because I'm from Chicago and stuff, and I got a
you don't say. Be in Minnesota.
He had like black people in areas where
Lyrian, aka Hightower,
Irish
just joined
people
us.
lived.
Hey, can I invite someone to the server?
Everybody's invited.
Can you invite people to the server? Yeah, it's public.
Hey, hold on. Astos, please don't treat me like I'm an idiot.
Okay.
We should have links on the sub. I don't.
Hold on.
I mean,
I got a special guest. I got a special guest.
Special guest.
Are you gonna invite someone over here? You're gonna waste our motherfucking time over here.
No, don't waste my motherfucking time.
Oh man, don't do that.
I've been trying to work on
I got a guy.
All right then.
Hold on. All right. Also, let me say, oh my gosh.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit!
Come back, pal.
Young Ice.
Wow. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Intro him.
I'm excited. Okay,
Look, Ice Cream. I don't care how much shit Marlo talks about you.
My Este's right. Nate, I gotta intro him because he's new.
All right, yeah, go for it.
He's new to the podcast, new to the scene, always in our hearts. Ice cream, great dish, made with ice cream, made with milk. You churn the butter, and bing bang, bitch, you got the guy. He's from Australia, and he was once red wine, but everybody loves him just like red wine and ice cream. Our buddy, he's here. What's up, my man?
He's the size of a Tigerade. I'll do it.
And he was one of the original members.
Your punchline.
One of the original members of Meant for Gilmore Girls podcast.
Oh my gosh, he certainly was.
Yep. Okay, so Nate, Este, Marlo, Mike, Bobby, Jim, Ice, punchline.
Punchline.
Oh my gosh, Ice is the best.
Punchline? Or am I meant to make a punchline?
Nobody knows.
You gotta roll with it. You gotta roll with the changes.
Alright,
roll with the changes.
We're having too much dead air.
This is like 100 bits per second. Come on. You just gotta say something or you're losing your chance.
You gotta up the bit rate. You gotta go for it.
President.
Oh shit!
Oh, Nate for president. That's a big one.
No. Absolutely not.
Ice Queen clearly doesn't have a plan.
I haven't been on this sub in like a year and a half, maybe.
Dude,
2
welcome me. I also haven't been here in 9 months. I got a kid now.
A year and a half.
Is this like a real podcast? Or?
Yeah, dude, we're recording right now. This is MetaCast season 98. Where the fuck have you been, Sketchy?
This is at least as real as all the bullshit Dallas Cowboys podcast.
There's 5 other episodes of this. Get woke.
This is somehow more disjointed and more drunk than the European.
That's not true.
You mean MetaCast 3?
No, that's not true at all because we're all speaking English and they all speak. How do you do?
Alright.
I'm from Wales. My name's Ticknor. I look like Droopy Dog. Oh.
Do you
where we talked for 60 minutes and then Joe figured out he hadn't been recording at all for those 60 minutes.
All right, look. I know Joe is recording right now. A.
Oh, am I supposed to record?
Why?
All right, hold on. A, number one. Joe, are you recording right now?
All right, tell me when to start recording.
All right,
start. B, number two. I know ice cream. As the like ginger kind of Carson Wentz type
He's
in this
not
group.
a ginger.
I know he is.
We're referring to his taste, not his hair color.
Well, who
No,
isn't
the
into
Carson
ginger?
Wentz type. Like, it doesn't matter. Like the ginger thing. I don't know why you guys are jumping to that. I'm saying that because he's the MVP.
Ginger's the MVP?
Yeah. I was going to say.
I thought you were saying because he likes to eat ginger.
Second of all, I think Astos was in charge of coming up with topics for.
Ferg just came at our neck, so I think Ferg is jealous that he's not getting airtime. So Ferg,
Yeah, I was about to say,
this is your
Ferg, I have a
moment.
question for you.
Go for it. What do you want to talk about?
How old are you that you haven't seen Spy Kids?
Here's the problem: he hasn't seen Spy Kids. He doesn't have audio equipment. He can't even be on the podcast.
Does he not know who Alan Cumming is?
Do you not know who Flurb was? We still play the game, Ankoli. Don't mock me in chat.
No,
Wait, Ankoli, you're making fun of us on fucking Snapchat?
She's making fun of us in the chatterbox.
She's always making fun of us English people just because we have funny accents.
That was Nick Don's making fun of you guys for being out of fucking touch.
Ooh. Ouch.
Look, Ankoli, if you're gonna make fun of us, just make fun of us in the recording because we want this to be recorded.
Yeah, we're recording it.
But the truth is that of the Milk Bar people here, Joe is the one that was claimed most recently.
Is that a problem? Are you judging?
Joe has more of an idea of what is going on in the game right now than if.
Oh my god!
Actually, I have been claimed much longer than Joe.
Yeah, he's still claimed.
Sir Teabags is part of the community. Yeah, okay.
So never stopped being teabags.
That's
so.
not true. All right.
In fact, I'm gonna go post right now. Out of spite. This is a spite post.
I've had the judge claimed for 3 years now. Before 7K was a thing, and it transfers over.
He's not a ginger.
It's a legacy claim. It's always there.
It's not a ginger. Let's send that snap right quick. We go. Bada bing.
So who's the guy that was talking before? Ben.
Benzo.
Yeah, no. Okay, Apple G had a question. He wanted to do the weird clothing style, painting style, Danny Trejo movie question. Apple G. Oh, he's not here anymore. What the fuck? He can't answer the question if he's not here.
He's better dead than.
Alright, clothing style is Supreme because his game sucks. Painting style is Picasso because it's derivative. Danny Trejo is Rick and Morty cameo because his game sucks.
That's a little aggressive and rude.
That's a little too aggressive.
We can't even call a game that we don't play. We're all friends. Nobody's friends here.
Is better dead than red not Pinza?
That's Benzo.
No, I'm Benza.
Okay, yeah. So he's here.
I feel like they're right. I feel like we're being attacked because we don't play the game.
We're not.
Yeah, get
fucked.
fucked.
I feel like we're being attacked. So
They're engaging with us even though we have no ground to stand on.
I feel like they also expected this to be a real podcast, and it's a meta cast.
Why would
it's about the meta? It's not about the cast. It's not about the pod. It's about the meta.
The entire game is about the meta.
Exactly. Let's talk about Rogue and the wrongs he did to you, Nate. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't want to put anybody on blast.
Well, you said you want to talk about the meta.
Alright, well, you guys all do your stories, and then at like 1 a.m. we'll get into the real shit.
Oh, we're going till 1 a.m.? I'm going to need another bottle of wine.
Another 45 minutes.
I mean, you're here.
Nate, are you even going to be
This is the extended.
Well, I just
have to be subscribed
know all
to the
you
Patreon to get this part.
lore friends are going to side with them, and
We need special content for the
oppose
Patreon.
my account of things.
So here's a question. We'll break into the Q&A segment, actual philosophy of game design. So, if I were to sell you a dream that was...
Might as well be living on the fucking moon.
A new game, right? A new idea, a new approach to things.
Yeah.
Completely new, completely different.
I'm
and
listening.
I told you, you don't claim a house anymore. That idea
Wait,
doesn't work.
what?
I know. It's wild. It's different. It's
But Lord of the Game of Thrones.
incorrect,
Rings.
but also correct, but also right, but also wrong.
I've seen Gladiator.
You have
I
seen
know
Gladiator.
what to expect from fantasy.
That's correct. So we're changing the game a little bit. We're going to stick with the setting, obviously, because this is when we're established. We have a player base. We have people who are going to show up. But what if I told you the game is no longer about I'm a pretty princess in a pretty princess castle, right? We're throwing that idea out. It no longer has mechanical weight. The 17 lore posts that you just wrote about your daughter, they don't matter because the focus of the game is drawing in on tactile combat in theaters of battle based upon where the regions clash naturally, concurrently, and lore that's already been written. So we give an RP period
And
where,
we do it in Mountain Blade?
we don't do it in Mountain Blade.
Wait, hold on. Mountain Blade? Sounds pretty cool.
So tell me more about this Mountain Blade, Nate. You brought it up.
Alright, hold on. Let me think about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The beginning of Gladiator
I'm listening.
is only engaging because we believe that Maximus is actually this leader of men, this general that takes charge of all these Roman fucking landowning horse riders. And they run over a bunch of Germans and so
That's
on.
correct. Yeah, they do that.
And yeah. So basically, tactics and so on. And
so, like I said, you only see the stories about Maximus. Stories about Maximus Decimus Meridius, right?
The story is about Maximus, but the story is actually about the fucking lower class empire, the fucking gladiators that take him in.
You're right. So Gladiator is a bad example. Let's talk about Outlaw King. So what if, like I said, you don't claim a full house, right? That idea, we're throwing that out.
You're not Jerry Tanner. You're not Stephanie Tanner. You're not.
You're not
fucking
Danny Zuko.
The show was good, man. Come on.
You don't claim a full house.
You're not fucking.
And you don't claim a fuller house. You can
not fucking.
Alright, can we at least be Cheers?
You can face claim Kimmy Gibbler if you want.
Oof.
What about Gilmore Girls? Can we?
Yes.
Well, obviously, of course.
Rory, fucking Lorelai, fucking Chris,
all of the above, naturally.
Richard.
But we're taking out dice rolls.
Yes.
Redeem though.
We're taking them out. We're saying dice roll is a thing of the past. In most circumstances, what if action was based upon a series of maybe 52, maybe less, maybe more, of actions that you can play? Maybe you could call them cards. Not microtransactions. Maybe you could call them cards. Maybe you could then have a collective of those cards. And what would you call a collective of those cards, Nate? Is that a
deck?
Is that a deck of cards?
We're getting too into our own bits, guys. Let's bring this back.
Yeah. I don't want to smother anybody in our bits.
Yeah, I mean, you already have. I'm pretty sure.
I would love to smother you in my bits.
Look, I was just doing an ad read, and I'd like to thank Quip for sponsoring our podcast today. Moving on to the next topic, ice cream. How's Australia?
It's pretty cold at the moment.
How has it been since Christchurch?
That's a different country.
But that guy.
We did have like
Was
some guy shot 4
Australian.
people in Darwin last night, and it's like
He was Australian. He went to New Zealand and killed all his people.
On to the next question.
fuck that guy.
Benzo, if you could see a drastic change to the game, what would you introduce? Drastic change.
Drastic change.
What in your eyes?
My
this is
dude,
great.
fucking ice. Drop the fucking ice on him. What would you do?
Ice, Benzo, and Coley.
All of the above.
Fucking ice. Benzo, love Benzo.
Freezing them
No,
up.
I need a second thing.
Fucking Benzo.
2 weeks ago, Wicked messaged me about boat mechanics in a game I don't play anymore.
You
I
were
was like, what the
getting
fuck?
ready. You were getting ready to reply to this question, and then Wiccan PM'd you and said, "If you don't tell them
boat
they need
mechanics
to change the fucking naval mechanics, I will ban you from the fucking game."
I told him like ships should have to go to port every like certain amount of distance or some shit.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the.
Okay, that makes sense.
Big.
I mean, I'm still hoping to work on that reform because I think it's one of the most needed.
Yeah, game without any navy is kind of bad.
I want an even bigger one too, but it's gonna be taking a lot more work.
And moving right along now, next subject.
Oh no! Ben's just waiting to think up the big change that he wants to see.
Sure, you have to let
definitely an integrated combat system where it's not just randomly rolling die.
Oh,
shit, like have like some like fucking duels or some shit like that. So like a fucking untrained 50-year-old woman. Right? So an untrained 40-year-old woman doesn't kick the shit in of like a 20-year-old trained knight.
Interesting.
So I think that's part of it.
That's something that like pisses me off the most, honestly.
Another thing that would be cool is if duels in battle and winning the duel in battle, like of commanders,
that would
benefited your army in some way.
But it would need a roll at some point, right?
Yeah, you do rolls for the duel.
I mean, but modified odds.
The winning of that. Yeah, Baum was working on modified odds for basically like against a woman, like an old woman.
A woman.
Yeah. Jute sent me like a proposal.
I'm sorry. Nate went a woman.
I expected me to jump in there to help me out.
I was actually gonna work on stuff like that.
I don't have it, Benza, but I know Baum was working on it. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things that should be changed.
Okay.
So right now, the mechanics don't really account for major differences in skill.
Yeah, they don't
explicitly. I mean, for some things like mods can make changes if they feel it's appropriate, but there's nothing explicit saying, hey, like
this guy's trained to fight. This person is not.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also in Joust too, like more like integrated tourney system like that.
Now, question: if you had to pick, would you rather see less tourney stuff and more, like less of the at base level? Lord of the Rings is about the War of the Ring. Would you prefer to see?
But on a more serious level, it's about Tom Bombadil.
Would you prefer to see? That's a good point. Would you prefer to see more of the Battle of Gondor or more Tom Bombadil? That's a big question. I mean, that's seriously. That's an honest question.
I think this is part of my answer to the closed stuff. If I can take, I don't know.
Go ahead, Wicken, go for it. You're the guy. You're in it.
If Benza has an answer, then that's all right. Obviously,
don't pay attention to us heckling nerds. We're just heckling nerds. Go ahead, talk about your game. I like it.
Wicken can go.
So I think a lot of our focus coming into 7K was on small conflicts occurring, and I think that has happened. Haven't.
Oh yeah.
And had more big conflicts and big overthrows than 7K. I mean, 7K hasn't had any.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
And so I think it's had more small stuff.
Materis has kind of performed a coup, hasn't he?
That's wild. A soft coup.
In a way. Yeah, a very soft coup, but
he mostly
he mostly just poisoned his.
He murdered a guy, but then he also got rid of a bunch of people that were on the small council, and then he killed Rain as well.
Yeah, he just reshuffled. The Rain was more of like a debt.
This is a house cleaning
sort of thing.
I agree that was really very cool. I think that was more using plots though than conflict.
Well, I think plots are conflict in a way.
Big brain.
I don't think that you're ever gonna have very many civil wars over the throne that actually some side wins and takes over that isn't the crown. I think that's very unlikely to happen unless it's actually a Targaryen pretender. And then you're much more likely to have that succeed if it's partly a coup.
There's less challenges to the LPs. It's more small conflicts between other lords.
So are you talking sort of like the drum rain thing is what you were aiming for, or that kind of expanded into more than just a little conflict, I guess, but...
Yeah, drum rain was kind of crazy.
Have we had that many of those, though? Like, that's the only one I can really think
really.
of. I think you're like extrapolating one thing that's happened recently being like, oh, it's been successful, we've had some of these.
I don't think there's been that many small conflicts, honestly. I wish there was more.
The Storm one was not a small conflict.
I think there's been more small conflicts in this game
in like the reach, the reach is a ton.
far.
But,
I guess the
if you're
reach
not
is
in the
had
reach,
some-
like,
I mean, I feel like
what
there's
happens?
never.
I think the thing that was
conflict in the
successful about the
Riverlands.
reach is
And the
honestly
has been a mess.
the reach has had LPs that are bad.
Yeah.
Partly why the reach has had all these conflicts, right?
That's
But
true.
the Riverlands hasn't had peace for like ever.
I
believe
think
Bock
if you
had a
consider
report
if you consider the Iron Islands and their armies
Yay.
and their taxes and all their levies and stuff, and combine that with the Reach and the West, and what do you guys think is going on there? Like, what is your take on that entire situation?
Everyone's gonna die.
Saying random
It's a
shit.
fucking mess.
I agree with Buck.
Yes.
I think
Wait,
Joe just said
boxer?
something really vague.
Yes.
and
Okay, can we get
meaningless.
Bock's introduction here?
All right, let me give you a
Something
real
happened?
introduction now that you're here, Bock, and then we'll cut back to Ankoli, who has the real stat about the turning gate. Like I said, man, myth, legend, Bane Gold, man of our hearts, the young son, the Tidedies reborn. Bock is here. You go poo, and you do you, man. But I'm glad you're here. Glad to have you.
Oh, I love you too.
Love you too, pal. Tell your mama said, what up?
Yeah, your mom and dad both seem pretty chill.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a job now. It's fucking
Holy fuck!
He really does seem like young Noble.
You like grew up. I'm really proud of you, Bock.
dude, I have
really
like
proud of you.
$120 in my bank account. Straight
Dude,
ball.
oh my god. Dude, this is lit. I'm really proud of you, Bach. Like, I'm really proud of you.
You're
Like, keep up the good work.
You're making
I
it.
quit weed, I quit drinking, and I'm just
Holy shit.
Oh, well, I don't
Well,
advocate
Quit
those
drinking,
things.
you lame motherfucker.
I mean, for now, that's good, but then, like, come back when you're done developing, or when
Yeah,
you'll
you'll realize
development.
that just made you more conservative, not necessarily more smart.
hashtag build the ice cream.
Speaking
Oh,
of
dude, that's
conservative,
fun.
let's talk about
Yeah,
the
but
Back to
drama.
Ankoli.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait,
He's a
wait.
conservative.
Ankoli, you were talking about the Riverlands being partitioned. Continue.
Oh, this is
Yeah, dude.
I think my entire point there was that we've actually had more small conflicts in this game than we have in ITP.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I killed the Storm
We had
King. so
none in
I'm a legend.
ITP though, so it's not really like a high
we had
bar.
very few in ITP, and it seems like the North and the Reach in particular have had some sort of
Internal civil war. Yeah.
at all times. Like,
That's interesting.
never actually stopped.
But we had civil wars
You-
within
you need
realms
a leader
in
to tell you
ITP.
when
They
to
just all
stop.
happened at like the
We
same
had-
time.
Yeah, we
Oh,
had
shit.
civil wars that were like a defined end, and then
Good
people
kid.
got food, and then there was a new LP.
Yeah, and
But
can you,
like-
can you,
I
can you
I
speak
feel like
on
the
that?
Riverlands has had a ton of internal conflict too,
Yes.
and I mean it's just not major conflicts. It's
I
just
think that High
always like
Lords are mostly what's accounted for that though. And
Yeah, I agree.
everything else that we've changed has not contributed towards anything.
Can you speak on that a little bit?
yeah, I can, Joe. Thank you.
One of the things that was changed to account for conflict was adding villages. Like, that's explicitly why Manus suggested that whole system. And then
I don't know if that's worked.
yeah, it hasn't worked at all. And various rules that have like entered the game have made it so that you can't just take a village and the village will be like loyal to you. Like, land has
Yeah.
to change by an LP's orders.
Yep.
So
And
it
it takes a village, isn't that what they say? It takes a village.
Yes,
Yeah, I
they
think
do
that a
say
lot of the
that.
rules around like vassal swap or vassal subjugating and all that stuff have also like really pushed people towards not engaging in this sort of thing. Because like even when they succeed, like the mods then are like, yeah, nerf your claim.
Yeah, engagements. Can you speak on that a little bit more? We've heard about betrothals in the past. I just think we should learn more about that.
Joe, we'll get back to the point of betrothals. I'm curious, and a point was brought up in reference to lack of an LP.
Okay. I see what you're
Or
saying.
lack of a leadership figure to complete. What was an offhanded mark was made about these conflicts continue because you need a leader to stop the conflicts. So is that an absence? Again, I've not been playing.
I think that's a misquote.
Okay, then never mind. So
I think LPs
so
often
true.
allow it to occur
Yeah.
more than they did in ITP, where
Yeah.
where LPs were able to shut conflicts down more massively. LPs are now in check and they can't as much.
is that in check mechanically or in check?
Well, I think it's-
They still can. They just
There-
don't try.
Okay.
Well,
I cut
culture.
I cut Ankoli off. I apologize. Ankoli, you're up.
Well, they need their High Lords, right?
That's not Aaron Coley.
That's not Aaron Coley. I cut her off. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the Reach has had, 3 generations in a row without a stable LP? Various bastards and, daughters and really random people have inherited instead of any sort of, leadership figure.
And what kind of random people? Like Offhanded Mark? Is that who we're talking about here? Or
Offhanded Mark?
Yeah.
Is that a player?
No,
Is that New Sword Arms?
Yes, he was brought up a little while ago. I was just wondering if he was the person in question. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, we cut off Estos first, so let's go ahead. Estos, you had a remark about this whole incident.
Well, it's like
wait, that's not
their
Coley.
High Lords.
But it's go ahead.
Hold on, is this Offhanded Estos?
No. Offhanded Mark is his own guy. But go ahead, Astos. We cut you off 4 times now.
The LPs need their High Lords because there's so much of a power base in them. They can't afford to just anger them for anything, right? Because then another realm could be like, oh yeah, I'm your friend now, and then they have this massive advantage over you. So,
okay, are you asking us, or are you?
I also think doing that has made it so LPs stay in power more because they require to assemble alliances with High Lords.
And what kind of alliances are we talking here? Can you speak on that
I
a
would
little
say
bit?
it's because there's other ways of improving yourself, and I disagree with that. I think it's if you're a High Lord, there's I can get this vassal, instead of just I have to take over the entire Iron Islands as LP.
Right. With that, yeah.
Can you speak on that?
But isn't a part of that also villages in the Iron Islands, especially? I mean, the last thing with the Iron Islands had Good Brother torn up with its villages.
I don't think that was just villages, though. If there was no villages in the game, they would still have fought over the vassals, right? That was it was just about individual assholes who want power, right?
Yeah,
I don't think they would have fought over the. I don't know if that's the case.
Right, villages, and it takes a village. Isn't that what they say, Astos?
I happen to know Kroll personally, so I know why he wanted to be Lord of Great Wick for a while.
Wait a minute. Are you suggesting that you know Cruel and his motivations and why exactly he's doing what he's... Are you suggesting that you know the meta behind Cruel? Are you suggesting meta gaming with Cruel?
It sounds like metagaming to me, to be honest.
It sounds like it could be metagaming. I don't want to point fingers, but it's possible. That's just what it sounds like. But at the same time, Wiccan, aren't you also the guy who wrote Aragon?
That's true.
Is this an allegation?
I mean, it's not okay, he's not the guy who wrote Aragon, because that was saying Aragon sucks. That's like an attack. No. Okay. Anyway,
I would claim that.
For the record, I did in fact metagame when I was Braun by not doing anything and the whole thing. But as you were talking about,
you brought us wine when I asked for it. That was good.
You know me, man.
I was your squire when you were Braun.
Yes, you were. You were?
Master of Point Mage?
I had a squire?
You did. I don't even know if you were really a knight.
What? I didn't think I was a knight.
Heard he was Master of Coin, though,
We
so
had
that's good
a
news.
whole conversation.
Oh, yeah, that one kid.
How do you feel about doing worse than Braun and Cannon?
I did better than Braun and Cannon, so let's answer that. Because I wasn't a fucking hack in Cannon. So.
And cannons, can we speak on that? Because I remember when Astos tried to come to the Riverlands to secure cannon technology.
Oh, I did.
I remember the last time I tried to come to the Riverlands.
Right. Can you speak,
I did get those cannons.
Nate, can you speak on that a little bit more, please?
Didn't you get burned alive?
Hold on. Let me see if I can
get what?
No. When Nate came to the Riverlands last time.
Mm-hmm.
When
And then what
last
happened?
time Nate came to the Riverlands?
You guys don't want to know about the last time I came to the Riverlands.
Dude, he left. He was quiet on this podcast for like a good 15 minutes. He's getting his nut. Like, y'all gotta relax.
Yeah, and I was
please
wondering
don't
what
ask
that
me
sound
about that again.
was, so...
Yeah, Este left because Este already got his nut.
Este knows.
Este knows more than we give him credit for.
And can you speak...
You think because he sounds like a small child that he doesn't know shit, but
gee willikers, Mr. Martin
knows
Short.
shit.
Este knows shit. But as you were talking about forced death rolls, why are there less? Why are there more?
Talk about open sea rolls to be specific, McLean.
Talk about things that nobody cares.
Oh no, there wasn't nice juicy open water roll recently.
But before I did metagame allegations, we were talking about naval mechanics. So let's get back to it. Let's talk about that.
No, we can't talk about naval mechanics on a metacast. It's
Well, there's rules about a metacast if you don't talk about naval mechanics for at least
No.
45 minutes.
So we can talk about river ships, though. We can talk
about river ships. We can talk about warg bats. We can talk about
Warg bats is a good one. Let's talk
about the teleporting axe. Where's Hans? Why isn't he here?
Oh, I have an actual question.
Go ahead.
So the magic mechanics have been a part of the game for a long time now. I think since the game's beginning, but we've only had 3 people actually roll skin changers, and all of them are birds. What is that?
So one check on that. It wasn't since the game's beginning. It was, I think, 3 months into the game that we started.
Seems like equivocation.
So we have about a year and a half.
Just to clarify, it wasn't something.
Yeah,
but
this
prepared
seems rather
at the beginning.
unlikely. I think there might be a mod conspiracy. It seems unlikely there'd only be 3.
And they're all birds. 2 of them are quails, and 1 is a peacock.
Y'all got pheasants in this game?
Yeah, we got pheasants.
It's like been nearly a year since the last one.
No, one of them got rolled like a Penrose. A Penrose that is a peacock.
Guess Rox is right. That house isn't lame.
Mechanics.
He wins.
Yes,
usually how we do it with the roll. Oh, sorry, Bock.
Holy shit, he's got his
what's
parents.
up, Bock? What's up?
So, this is my dad.
Oh, this is big. Bock's dad. How you doing? Welcome to the MetaCast.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, man? In sunny California. How is things hanging, my man?
Things are good. Aiden was very excited about you guys and wanted us to say hello. So just
hell yeah. That's what's up. I like your son. He's a good guy. He follows through on his promises. What
Is he doing good on his math class?
Well, we'll see. How's that math going, Aiden?
I have like a C+.
Come on, Bock.
You gotta work on that, Bock.
Come on.
No, it's at like a B- maybe.
All right,
Okay.
that's good.
You better do good in the final.
Yeah.
And what does his mother think about this C+?
Yeah, let's get the mom in as well. Let's get all the parents involved. We got to make sure you're part of the community.
The mom
Bock.
wants to know about. They want to know about the mom C+.
You know what though? He rocks at history.
We hear that, and I tell you, your son is a fantastic young writer, and
good.
we are happy to have him in any capacity we can. Good kid.
That's pretty cool to hear.
We appreciate that.
So, wait, are you guys in Texas?
One of our buddies is in Texas, but he actually stepped away from the mic right now. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, the greatest city on earth, and a bunch of us are all over the place. It's the whole thing.
Wrong. Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Do you guys end up chatting like every day, or like once a week, or what's
Infrequently, whenever the vibe hits us, and we're like, you know what, let's rock and roll. We rock and roll. So here we are tonight, doing exactly that.
Nice. Very
That's
cool. So you guys have East Coast, you have the South, and you have West Coast.
And we got some
Midwest
Central boys.
boys.
We got some Midwest boys out here. We rep all over. There's some
Michigan gang.
Europeans, but they're asleep at this point in time.
Yeah,
There's some
So
Australians too.
where are the Midwest boys
Oh.
located?
Michigan boys.
Chicago.
How are you guys doing with all the crazy weather?
It keeps raining. It's just more and more rain.
Well, my house in Green Bay got flooded, so that's awesome.
Yeah, right?
Wow, that's unfortunate.
My university flooded, so that's fun.
Is anyone from Missouri? Is anyone on from?
Cotton is. He's not
we
here
got
right
a
now.
kid who is from
I think
Missouri. But he's not
Cotton's-
here right now.
Cotton just came back from France too.
Oh, he's in France? Wow, I haven't
He
talked to
was.
that kid in a minute. Good for him.
Nice. Very cool.
Aren't we all from Missouri in a way? What are borders even?
That's a big one, Joe. That's a big one. That is big. Wow.
Pretty funny.
Mr. and Mrs. Bock, where are y'all from, if you excuse the
they're
expression?
from California. They're from sunny California, man. You don't got to go into greater detail. We're on the internet.
Actually, all 3 of us are California natives.
Let's rock on, man.
That's
I know,
good.
but you know what?
Cool.
You know what though? My family originally came from back east, so they were New Yorkers.
Oh, right.
And my grandmother was done with like a crazy blizzard winter. She's like, I'm out. We're moving to Los Angeles.
Snow will do that to you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Both of my parents were second generation Californians, so I'm a third generation Californian.
Nice, man.
Don't worry, we're gonna be underwater soon.
I hear that.
Wait for as long as it can last.
So Aiden is a fourth generation Californian.
God bless him. What a kid.
Death is hilarious.
And something.
Anyway,
that's fantastic. That's good.
So
wow, this has been a magical moment.
Fault lines aren't playing around.
This is something else. Wow.
Hey, I mean, I'm making history again, right?
This guy.
I mean, Bob, you're making history every day. You just live every day like it's your last, and you'll just be making history.
That's it, my dude. That's it.
Though, when he was doing because you guys do kind of like character development and stuff like that. So, did any of your characters play the bagpipes, Aiden?
No, they don't have bagpipes.
What?
Well, I mean, I think on a deeper level, we all experience the grays of morality. We really try to go for that, and yeah. So you could argue that he played some good and some bad, but it's all about perspective at the end of the day.
I mean, what even is good and bad? You know,
that's a good question, Joe. That's a really big one.
Yeah, there's definitely a gray area there in morality for sure. But yeah, but we're talking George R.R.'s world, right? So we're not.
That's correct. Yeah.
Pipes, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was trying to get my dad to claim a village.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Metagaming. That's nice.
Easy.
You showed me the game that you guys are playing, and I realized I do not have the time cycles in my life to pick up another game.
Totally
I'm
understand.
already leading a guild right now that has 20 members in it. On another game that I play, and I used to be deeply involved.
Was this WoW or something?
No, it's an online device game called NML. It's No Man's Land for Walking Dead.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of yeah. So anyway, but it's a gilded game, and it got to where I was with a global leaderboard guild, and we had like 17 guilds I was trying to manage, and life got a little crazy.
That's totally a
lot.
So basically, I've scaled back to a single guild, and that's got a lot of my time cycle sucked up right now.
I feel
that. I have with friends and family already, if you know what I mean.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
a lot of these people have left the game too.
And I don't put a lot of effort into the guild anymore, but when I looked at what you guys are doing, I went, oh boy, I'm not ready to ramp up right now.
Yeah.
Feel that.
You know what, though? If you would have caught me 3 years ago when I got all fired up on The Walking Dead, it would have been a different thing.
And it's all about ebb and flow, isn't it? That's just the way that life goes, you know?
That's it.
Claim, unclaim, claim.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love Game of Thrones from the beginning. That's why Aiden got into it, actually. You know, it's like... I was into the books right away. Well, I got introduced to it through the show, but I was into it back when it was still in season 2, when it was still like only like total geeks were into it.
You can say when it was still good. That's accurate.
No, it was still good for a couple of years after that. To be honest, it failed in season 5. But
4 or 5, I agree.
No, I think it's when George R.R. Martin distanced himself from the show. See, because a lot of people are said, "Oh, well, they ran out of book material." That's not true. Dorne was all laid out there for at least a good portion of it. And what they did
they ignored stuff that was going on, right? They just
for some reason they decided to set the security zone for the water gardens to about equal to your public pool.
Yeah.
And so those guys could just walk right in. I was like, "What is this?" You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a joke.
Dorne was the first sort of alarm bell.
And if I could just ask, how does it feel to be more woke on the topic that your son is dedicating his life to right now?
That's true. It's pretty woke, yeah.
If you could just speak on that.
Joe, easy. Don't force anybody on the topic, Mike. You know, it's all good. We're all good. We're all here having fun.
No, you guys are good. But anyway, what is it that you guys are going to get accomplished tonight?
Great question. We're talking about lots of ups and downs, how the game works, ways to improve it, ways to relax with it, ways what's good, what's bad, what to change in future iterations, and how to keep the current iteration up and going. That's for absolutely nothing. Sketchy's right. But
like record sort of a podcast type thing, doing commentary on the game and what's happening in it. So I think our original goal was to try to do that tonight, but we're not very good about staying on topic.
That's true.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I was a guest speaker, I'd just tanked your podcast. I'm sorry.
Honestly, not at all.
This is much more interesting than anything we were previously talking about.
Yeah, that's true. And also,
that is entirely true.
We're going to need you guys to sign off on some waivers. We'll be sending those your way soon.
Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be in the
My wife will check them out pretty well. You guys are watching out. She's got her JD and she's a contract specialist. So
perfect. Perfect. We're ready for it. We'll send it. We'll send it out in triplicate. My criminal justice degree will come right in handy. Don't worry, we're good. We got this. We'll figure it out.
Fantastic. You guys will have a lot to chat about.
Well, the totality of the circumstances will have to dictate here.
Perfect. That's a good one.
Well, anyway, you guys do have fantastic voices for a podcast. I mean, there's some good ones out there, but I can hear the way you guys are talking, and I think you'd probably be entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's what we try to do. That's what we attempt to achieve.
Thank you for a compliment.
Thank you. Agreed. And your time, honestly. This is wild. This is the most we've ever had, like, somebody's parents roll up and be like, "What's good? This is you changed the format. It's impressive. I'm really proud of it. We've really accomplished a lot tonight."
All right, so I have another question for you guys regarding other podcasts out there on the topic of Game of Thrones world. What do you guys think of Nerd Soup?
Nerd Soup? I don't know if I've listened to them.
I haven't listened to any Game of Thrones podcasts.
I enjoy them.
Okay, you know them. You've seen the way that they did the clip with Sansa, and when she's at the wall with Jon, and she stops, and then just like there's the pause, and then she says, "This is good soup," and then they go right into their thing. It's so good.
Yeah. Sounds like a good intro.
It's so good.
Can't beat some timing. That's powerful.
Well, you guys can always look it up online. It's all over YouTube.
All right.
Anyway,
I have to.
I don't want to take too much more of you guys' time tonight. I do appreciate that you guys are giving our son such a nice, fun time and a safe place to have a good time online with his friends.
Oh, it's no problem, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We strive to make this a safe place.
It's the army, but better. No.
Hey, if he ever needs to go to boarding school or anything, you just let me know. I can hook him up. I have
We
contacts.
talked about it. We did. But are there other high school kids on this too, or is it?
Oh yeah,
there are.
Sure there is. Yeah.
We did a demographic survey about a year ago, and I think our average age is 18 to 19.
Okay.
So we have a fair amount of like 16, 17-year-old kids.
I joined as a
Sounds like
senior,
an
so.
incredibly official survey.
Yeah. I think we got about 80 or 90 people to take it. So.
Nice.
Is there like a trajectory of like maybe a 2-year inflation that people use?
I don't know. We generally have like new people cycling in all the time, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that it changes.
Yeah.
People usually leave because of, jobs and not enough time, honestly.
We do have one rather elderly Native American person bringing up the median age quite a bit, but
Yes, we have one woman who writes with us that is, I think, 62.
Yep.
Who?
Wow.
Dark Sky.
Oh, that's so cool.
That would be the average Joe, not the median.
Yeah.
that would be the average, not the median. So you sound like.
No, we have a couple like actual adults, like 30s to 40s. I think on is like 30s.
What? No, I'm
No, Vic's not an adult yet, guys.
Hold
Don't push
on.
him into the block. Don't push him into the...
38.
Let me live.
That makes sense. Punch sounds like he's 38.
Yeah. Allie is in her late 30s.
Yep.
That might be it.
We don't look at it as age. It's experience.
There was a guy that played Stark in Westeros Powers. I think he was like 40s, 50s, right?
Kyle? No,
Yeah,
Kyle didn't play Stark.
maybe that
Did Kyle play Stark?
I think
No, Kyle
I
didn't
don't
play
know.
Stark.
You can ask.
Something like that.
Are
I don't know.
are we talking mental age or?
No, I mean,
Actually, like on the earthly age is what I was thinking.
Oh, the earthly. Oh yeah, I'm old.
Alright.
So wait, is it Ann Coley?
Yes.
Okay. So are you? Your voice sounds like you're a little bit younger.
I'm 24, but I'm a girl, so.
It's a real matriarch, if you will.
Yeah.
24 is a great age.
I like to think so.
That's fantastic. And are you at Duke, or you went to Duke, or you're?
Yes, I am.
Well, good for you. Do you like it?
Oh yeah, I adored it. I was actually just out in California with the Duke program looking at sustainable agriculture out there. So
where did you end up? Where did you do your looking at?
Mostly the Central Valley.
Central Valley, yeah.
Did you guys go to Davis?
We went to Davis and we looked at some of the test fields that they have out there.
You know, they have amazing like viniculture. Like that's what they're super big
about.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. We looked at some of the like ancient vines, like old growth stuff, and how that's grafted together for like durability.
Yes, it's a phenomenal science actually that right now there's a huge market for that because, you know, so many people are drinking wine and it's kind of resurrected.
Yeah.
That's very cool though. So sustainable agriculture is kind of your thing, and your
Yeah. That's what I hope to go into eventually. So.
Very cool. Good for you.
So you've had a fun time.
There's definitely a big need for it. That's
good. Yeah.
You're not sure about that, Vic.
I'm just kidding. I'm from Iowa. Of course, we need agriculture.
Right. Well, there's some like kind of nutsy things that are going on too with some of the genetically modified seeds, and then some of the lawsuits that recently came out of that, even though like farmers weren't using those kind of products, but then got sued for using them because the wind blew them over. Anyway, there's a really great book if you're ever interested called Seeds of Change. Ozeki, I think is her name. She's a really cool writer. If you ever need like, you know, material for someone interesting to read, Ruth Ozeki. Anyway, that's the only plug. You guys can have a great night. Thanks for chatting.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for chatting with us. This is honestly the most meta the cast has ever gotten. This is powerful.
Yeah, no, but it's awesome to hear somebody's parents like so supportive of this. And
right.
I think it's a really great thing.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more question for you guys. It's sort of a general one. Anybody could probably chime in or all. Do you think they're gonna have to lock George R.R. up to finish the last book?
We're not getting a last book.
I don't think we're gonna get one. I think so.
We're not getting a last book.
I don't think we're gonna get one.
We're gonna get a next book, but then I think the last book's gonna come from his kid or something, or Elio.
I don't even know.
We'll get more Duncan Egg.
I feel like Dreamless Spring is more like a fantasy of a fantasy at this point in time.
Yeah, they'll probably
get
call
to
it
like the 8th book, and you'll be like, we need a 9th book.
They'll call into Brian Herbert, and Brian Herbert will say, "I got this. Don't worry, guys." And everybody will be like, "Whoa, Brian! Whoa!" And it'll be a whole thing.
This is be the book that's just dedicated to Marine.
I'm ready for that.
Just 20 chapters on Marine.
That would be painful.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm not done. What do you guys think about Jane Goodman working on the new series coming up?
Is that the like short? You're talking about the little side series they're doing, spin-off?
What else?
Yeah, the one they're secretly calling Blood Moon right now, but it's basically about the Long Night.
I don't know. Long Night doesn't sound like an interesting plotline to me.
Really?
It's got a very like strong cast that they've recruited already.
Is this the writer that I heard somebody was doing one of the spin-offs that was the guy that did Star Trek: The Next Generation? I don't know if that's actually true or not.
You're right about that. I think you're right about that.
That one sounded interesting to me. That guy seems like a good writer.
They've got a few of them in production. I imagine they're probably going to do the Dance of Dragons, which would be the best, I think.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. But I think the Long Night will be interesting because there's obviously a lot of stuff that wasn't actually told. I mean, yeah, we got a little glimpse of Bran the Brookins thing with the Children of the Forest and the guy getting the Dragon Glass for the heart.
There might be some cool lore there, I admit, but it just seems like the actual plot line seems boring to me. I'd rather just read about it, you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
In like a YF or something.
No, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I'm like optimistic that it'll be a lot better than season 5 and beyond of what we just went through.
I think so, yeah. I think that D&D got tired of their own series by then.
I'm not asking a lot to get better than that, I guess, but anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see. Only time will tell. Ain't that just the
Fuck
way?
is Garfield eat?
I wonder what they're going to do next, though, with their newfound, I don't know, fame or whatever.
Yeah, right? Aren't they going to Star Wars?
So they're getting a Star Wars saga, but I've talked about this at different points in times as the resident big dumb Star Wars nerd. If they round out and close up the Skywalker saga, right, with this new Rise of the Skywalker film, that concludes a 9-film arc, whatever. Whatever they do from this point on, no one has to watch it. There are no strings attached unless they basically say, yo, this is a Han Solo series, this is a Princess Leia series, this is a Luke series. We're at an interesting jumping off point where you have complete freedom to choose at this point in time whether you are truly interested in Star Wars or not. If you want to watch it, you can. If you don't, you have no obligation to see it.
Which is interesting. They'll definitely choose. They will definitely choose KOTOR, and they will definitely ruin it.
And see, but who knows? That's why I'm dumb interested to see how The Mandalorian goes, because that's fresh, that's new.
I tried to play that game.
People are, and I'm super excited.
I hope they do like an Obi-Wan.
Man,
I still haven't played KOTOR. I tried to play it now, but it just like crashes every time I get to
the perfect Obi-Wan Kenobi story that really rounds out, I think, his time would be to essentially remake a few dollars more. That was a remake of Yojimba, not a few dollars more, a fistful of dollars, which was a remake of Yojimba, but do it with Ben Kenobi, and he's on Tatooine, and he resolves the plight of 2 villages that are being attacked by Tusken Raiders, and you could tie in somebody who's looking for him from the Clone Wars or something like that. But basically the story of why he's a hermit, and the fact that he's still in this isolation, but the hope and power of the Jedi is still there to provide for people. And that would be perfect. That's all you need. It doesn't need to affect the rest of the galaxy like I think the Solo movie did. It kind of tied in too many points to see his last name's Solo because he's by himself. That was dumb. We didn't need that. Or the Millennium Falcon is as it is because it has a movie that just exists. That's what I want to see more of. I want to see more of the universe and how it works and why things
100%. 100%. But didn't they can that movie because of Solo?
Yes, they said we're going to take a step back and we're not going to make an Obi-Wan movie, and we're not going to make a Boba Fett movie because our marketing strategy for Solo was shit and it made us lose money. As opposed to
Solo?
Well,
I don't know if any of you did. You guys?
I kind of liked Solo.
I liked Solo. I thought Solo was fun.
Well, it was a good movie in the end. It just cost too much money with the reshoots.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Too bad because Solo was probably the best thing they've done in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Right. It captured the imagination and the core, the adventure of it, the true swords and sandals, the spaceship. Right. And that's what it should be about. That's what they need to get back to.
They had to reshoot it so much that drove the value of it down.
The Obi-Wan movie, though, the Obi-Wan story really should have been the prequels.
That's true.
He should be in some sense it was.
I mean,
and he wasn't. It was like a complete mistake.
They're just losing focus. They just need to do the Chewbacca story.
I'd watch it. I wouldn't say
I would.
Brilliant. I'd learn Shirewalk.
Isn't that Star Wars holiday special?
Wow.
Special is definitely canon and definitely a classic.
Exceptionally canon, yeah.
The worst thing about Chewbacca in the new movies is that when he ate that happy baby bird and then he went back to being their friends.
That's true.
That was harsh. That was just, come on, man. What's the point of it? He's going to be a vegetarian now? Well, he should still finish his food.
Right. Exploitive.
Yeah, exactly. Just to be selective and just be wasteful. Anyway. Must be nice.
When Chewbacca
All right, guys.
Terry.
I really appreciate the time you guys have spent. I think I'm going to get on to a couple of other things I got to get going tonight.
Do it. Fantastic talking with you, Mr. and Mrs. Bock.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Real pleasure.
You guys have been amazing, and Bernie 2020.
Fantastic. Best guests we've had, honestly.
And Bock, do well in your finals.
And Bock, do well. It's the end of the school year. You got to focus up. You got to get that shit done. Because then you can...
You're going to go steady right now,
Yeah, you are.
Wait, what do I have
Gotta get on it, son.
Final.
Alright, good night.
Later, Bock.
Good night, Bock.
They all agree.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You gotta get on it, kid. We want to see you pass. You're the best of us. You have the chance. You can succeed.
I'll visit all of your hometowns. Boom.
Perfect.
Get it better than a B+.
Bye.
That's
If
it.
you don't
You can
pass,
do
you're
it.
banned.
All right, honestly,
God bless it. Wow, that was the most
dad
meta.
should be the moderator.
Holy shit.
That was so great.
That was the most meta these casts
Was
have ever
any of
gotten.
this actually recorded?
Yeah, Joe's been recording the whole time.
That's great.
That sounds doubtful.
Like only that be the episode.
That was the most meta we've ever gotten.
That was a power. Bock bringing his parents on the stream was just was a power move. Power of all power moves.
So
He like.
That was
Why?
some,
Oh my god.
That was great.
that was some big dick energy right there.
What the fuck? And Nate left and he missed it. What an idiot.
I know. He's gonna be kicking himself tomorrow.
He's gonna be so pissed.
It was like when we saw Este's wiener.
Dude.
Oh,
This is
don't
powerful.
mind us.
Alright,
Also-
so since go ahead.
Almost
Benza?
safe community. Safe community.
We really put on our best faces for that one. We really were like
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, guys.
the
Have they
line-
read anything on the sub?
I appreciate that you're giving our son such a good time and a safe place to have fun online.
woof.
What have you guys been telling them?
What is it on?
No one mentioned the
I
smart.
don't know. There's some
Yeah, no
Nazi
one-
shit
okay.
earlier this day. I mean,
Guys,
there's a lot
guys,
of garbage going
guys.
on today.
We need to ban smut for Bock's parents.
Fuck, just
Bock's parents.
All right, this is a lot to process. I understand that, guys. But we're
Sorry,
gonna have
we're
to
a
sign off.
psychotic.
We're going on an hour 20 at this point.
Alright. Just for final closing introductions, some people did join before you cut the mic. Let me take a look here. Real Garrett of Rivia, if that's AS3344, if that's King Reed from the olden days,
It is.
well,
Yes.
holy shit, that's batshit insane.
Yeah,
This is a big
he's in Iron Islands now.
Reed's been here a minute. Okay, cool. So good to see you,
Wow.
Reed. Good to see you, Reed.
Yeah.
Glad to see I burned down
King of
one
the
of the people
swamp.
who burned stuff down. Glad he's here. King of the Swamp. Real King of the Swamp. OG King of the Swamp. Also, Tortuga's here. Glad he's here. God bless him. I was here. Glad he was hanging. I don't know who. I don't know who Skull Dank is. Probably know who Skull Dank is.
Skuldakin is
no
How old?
idea.
been around for a while. He's been
OG.
been
The name's
important.
familiar. I don't
No,
think we
I've
ever
been-
interacted.
I've
But
He's pretty
Year.
important to Seven Kingdoms.
all right. Well, that's
Skull
good.
is,
He was a mod while you were an admin.
Okay. Well, we probably didn't cross.
Wasn't chat with him, yeah.
Maybe once or
The
twice.
streams never
No.
crossed.
We've never met.
All right. Cool. Well,
Bye.
nice to meet you. Now you can go on hating me. I'm pretty scum.
No. You made Briggs' picture.
Yeah, I did make Briggs' picture. That's
Oh,
right.
shit.
I did do
Skull.
that.
Therefore, you're the best.
No,
Is your
that's a
arm
lie,
still
but I
masked
appreciate that.
protected?
Thank you. There are actually 4 more in that series that I never uploaded, but
Well, this has been cute. This is cute. I like this.
so yeah, Joe's right, and also Razor was here. Razor Strong. I'm glad you can make it, Razor.
If we don't get 100 upvotes, we'll never make another one.
That's true. Not. We need at least 100.
This one needs to be edited down to solely the conversation with Box parents.
Well, you gotta have it all because there was a lot of good bits at the start.
I know there were no good bits at the start.
That's
We-
incorrect.
No,
There were a lot of good
no.
bits at the start.
You guys are
it was
just
all
memeing.
trash until Bock's parents were on.
Yeah, but that's the
Just
point.
we're all
Correct.
memeing.
Did you guys listen to none of the other Metacasts? That's what
I
it's
have
about.
not.
See, there's your
I think you guys
problem.
even get-
Well,
No,
back
no,
then,
I
at least
have
we memed
listened to
about
those.
things people understood. Now we're
That's-
just doing bits that nobody get.
Fuck off,
The game
Astos.
is-
That's what it's about.
And this has been MetaCast, episode MetaCast. And
He's right. Season 98. Catch us at season 421. This is J Bone McGrath signing off.
Bring back well 69.
All right, cut the mic.
and
watch.
cut.
Perfect.
Have a good night, folks.
Oh, I mean, we can still hang out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
wow. I guess he doesn't really like us. He's
Well,
only here
Wickham
for
was
the
only here for the
Metacast.
cast. No, that's
Wow.
understandable.
What a dick.
And he's